obviously with Kamaru Usman and Jorge Masvidal fighting this Saturday, a lot of people are wondering what's going to happen with Gilbert Burns. Obviously, Gilbert Burns had a potential fight with Kamaru Usman, but he had to pull out because of the fact that he had the coronavirus. So a lot of people are just wondering what's going to actually happen with Gilbert Burns now. There's actually a few options on the table for him when he does actually come back. So there could be a possibility that he gets the winner of Kamaru Usman and Jorge Masvidal. Now, the winner of that particular fight is obviously going to transcend himself in the sport. And obviously, Gilbert Burns does deserve a title shot because he was in the running for one before the fight got before he had to pull out because of the coronavirus. But I actually think if Masvidal actually beats Kamaru Usman, which is I think a little unlikely because of the fact that he's taking this fight on such late notice, short notice. I think Conor McGregor will actually come out of retirement to fight Masvidal. So I think a fight between Kamaru Usman, if Masvidal was to beat Kamaru Usman, I don't know if it's likely that Masvidal will fight Gilbert Burns. It could happen. The UFC may be able to enforce a fight like that, but it's more than likely that Kamaru Usman will fight the loser of that fight. If Masvidal loses against Kamaru Usman, which might happen, it's likely that he might get offered a fight with Gilbert Burns, which is a good fight. Is a very good fight. In my opinion, I think stylistically, Gilbert Burns is a much bigger threat to Kamaru Usman for the welterweight title than Masvidal on paper, in my opinion, because of his Brazilian jiu-jitsu background, how good he is on the ground. But obviously, Masvidal brings that intrigue that he always does. So in my opinion, the winner of Kamaru Usman and Jorge Masvidal will be a very good fight for very good option for Gilbert Burns, and it seems like that will be the option if he does come back. He may also get the loser of that fight, whether that's Kamaru Usman or Jorge Masvidal this Saturday. Another option may be a fight against Donald Cerrone. Maybe he could. Donald Cerrone may be able to fight him. Obviously, Donald Cerrone fights anyone, and if they're both at welterweight, they may be able to fight each other, or he might be able to fight the person that beat Donald Cerrone in his last fight, which is Anthony Pettis. And whoever wins that fight might be able to get. That might be a fight that's worth having. Another fight that's not mentioned is a fight against Nate Diaz. A Nate Diaz fight. Obviously, they've been going back and forth on social media lately. A fight between Gilbert Burns and Nate Diaz would be quite epic, but I just don't know if Nate Diaz would take that particular fight because he's got nothing to gain from fighting a dark horse like Gilbert Burns, apart from a potential title shot, but that might not happen. So I just don't see the relevancy of him fighting him. So there's a few options that's on the table for Gilbert Burns when he does return. Obviously, I did want to see the Gilbert Burns versus Usman fight, but I'd be lying if I didn't say that the Jorge Masvidal versus Usman fight has way more intrigue to it. It really does. It's a way more intriguing fight to see Jorge Masvidal versus Usman because of the fact that they've got so much beef going on with each other. With Gilbert Burns, he's a very entertaining fighter in the sport, but outside of the sport, he's a bit like Usman in the sense that he doesn't have an it factor. Apart from being a dark horse, there's nothing about his personality that's very intriguing or in this social media era very marketable. So he's gonna have to make himself marketable in a weird way. Like just winning isn't good enough in this sport. You have to have something that sets you apart, that makes you a bit of an outlier. That's really how you make the money in this sport. So yeah, that's my opinion on the options that that Gilbert Burns has when he does return. I do hope he gets his title shot. Obviously, he's very deserving of it off of his win against Tyron Woodley. I feel like he does deserve it, and he was a very dominant performance against Tyron Woodley. And I actually think against Kamaru Usman, he gives a very intriguing fight against him. So it'll be interesting to see where his career goes after this. So hopefully he gets better and becomes healthy after this, and he does get an opportunity against any of them. Also, it's a very long shot. It's very unlikely to happen, but if obviously Conor McGregor is a huge star, and it's unlikely that he'll fight Gilbert Burns because Gilbert Burns is just high risk and low reward. But and obviously he's a Brazilian jiu-jitsu artist who's very good on the ground. So if you look at how many times that Conor McGregor has been submitted on the ground, he's unlikely to take a fight um, against Gilbert Burns. But it could be likely that it could happen. It could happen a 1 in a million chance that Conor McGregor fights Gilbert Burns. The only reason why I think that could happen is so that if he beats Gilbert Burns, he might be a person to get an immediate title shot against whoever wins the Kamaru Usman versus Jorge Masvidal fight. So that's my opinion on where Gilbert Burns can go from there. He's got a few options. He's got Nate Diaz. He's got Donald Cerrone. He's got Anthony Pettis, and he's got the winner of Kamaru Usman versus Masvidal. And obviously, if Conor McGregor gives him a fight, then he's also got that as well. So he's got a few options, and obviously there's other contenders in the mix like the Leon Edwards and other fighters such as that. So let's just hope he gets better and gets himself back in the mix because having Gilbert Burns in the mix will be quite entertaining. He's a very dominant fighter, and he definitely deserves his title shot. So that's my thoughts on the matter. Tell me what you think below, and obviously subscribe to this channel. I've got more content coming your way. Peace out.